And on New Year's Day, everybody with a television, a pair of eyes, have been looking forward to the return of Sherlock. A, they wanted to see Benedict and Martin back together. B, they wanted to find out how he managed to survive that deadly fall from the top of the roof that we saw in 2012 in the January of that year.
The only deadly fall on the podcast is Luke.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Yes, it is. But but I have to say, and looking back on the episode now, we're now 2 episodes in of the trilogy. Looking back now, I enjoyed that first one thoroughly. Looking back now, I don't know how many answers it did give us, and episode 2, which we'll talk about in a moment, gave us even fewer.
Well, I love the let's talk very quickly about the opening, where they gave you the ending, which everybody was being fooled by, the Darren Brown ending, shall we call it. And it was beautiful. It was wonderful piece of satire of Doctor Who, the Sherlock universe, of just taking the mick out of all those people with all those theories, and giving them a theory and then taking it away from them.
But you know what's starting to annoy me, and it's already annoying me that I'm having to say the words annoying me, because I wanted to start 2014 not whinging about telly. But what is annoying me about this series of Sherlock, we're now 2 episodes into the 3, I think they're mocking the fans a little bit, and it doesn't bother me particularly, although I'm the one who brought it up, but I think they are mocking the fans and their love for it a fair bit. They deserve an answer to this whole thing.
No.
They did. Of course they do.
Why should TV shows always sort of have? Couldn't there not be ambiguity though? Do you have to have?
Of course there could be ambiguity, but when you leave a 2-year gap and you leave it on a cliffhanger,
did we not get like an ambiguous? Maybe it was when he was discussing it with the ex-police officer in that last. This might be the theory sort of thing. Because could that not be an explained, the explanation that he offered, and it's up to us whether we believe it or not. I thought that was what they were going for.
Personally, I think they owe us nothing. And the one good thing about Sherlock is the anticipation. Yes, it's been 2 years, and that's what's made it popular. Let's be honest, episode 2 is controversial because it actually wasn't that good. It was okay, but not that good. But episode 1 was the most anticipated thing, probably will be all year in television, apart from maybe Broadchurch Series 2. And they don't have to give us anything, I don't think.
I disagree as well in terms of the second episode not being very good. It
wasn't linear in the same way that you expect.
I know, but again, I mean, I don't know why there should be a complaint about it not being linear. I think they did something different. I mean, I wasn't as much of a fan of it as I was the first episode, but it has divided opinion. Luke didn't like it very much. But I watched it with the family, and we just sat there and really enjoyed it. I didn't overthink it at the time, and just thought it was an entertaining piece of drama. It was a little bit more comedic than I would have liked Sherlock to possibly be. But I think maybe, and you two may be able to back me up on this, one of the problems with doing an episode like this is that there's only 3 episodes in the series. If there were, say, 6 or 8, then maybe you could maybe think about doing an episode that had that sort of tone.
And I suppose one of the things that I'm very surprised about is that the new big bad, which comes in the next episode, is only in the next episode. I mean, all you saw in this episode, second episode was his eyes.
So was Moriarty.
But hadn't Moriarty been in it slightly before, at least mentioned before?
In Series 1, I'm sure he was only in the last episode.
But he was certainly talked about. It wasn't in the first 2 episodes. He was mentioned. I just think I don't know, the schedules, for me, the schedules of the 2 main actors is now beginning to limit what potentially we could get out of Sherlock, whereas actually I would have liked 6 episodes. We're only ever going to get 3 in a go.
I don't think I'd want 6.
No?
And that might not be a bad thing. I mean, that might be perfect scheduling.
What was your problem with the second episode, Luke, if you could sum it up?
I can do it.
Nothing happened.
Well, I agree. It had no beginning, middle, and end. There was no story. The story was the wedding, and
but the story was the story of the 2 mysteries that they were trying to solve. They were interconnected, and they climaxed. they climaxed with the the
About the
murder
sex
mystery
bots,
at the wedding, and it all sort of
To me, they wanted to have scenes in that episode. To me, it was a collection of scenes. They thought, oh, the elephant in the room joke, that's brilliant. We'll have that.
Exactly.
We'll have the bit with Sherlock and Holmes, Sherlock and Watson getting drunk. We'll have that.
Yeah,
we'll have him
brilliant.
calling out Lestrade to come and help him with the speech. They thought of scenes and fit an episode around it.
And also at the end they went, we've got to have a crime element to this. We may as well just do one here.
Yeah.
So I again disagree with that, but there you go.
That's fine. I mean, it's that's the great thing about the TV shows that divide opinion is that it does produce different things in different people. But I just think I don't know. It left me disappointed, but I can't put, and I haven't been able to put my finger on it.
Also, the crime element, where somebody was getting... If you've not seen it, I apologise, but we can't really talk about it without spoiling it a bit. Where somebody was getting stabbed through their belt. That just seemed really, really thrown together for Sherlock. Their crime stories are normally quite well thought out. I just thought, it was a bit thrown
I preferred
together.
my theory on Twitter, which was the ice pick that dissolved in the shower.
That was one of our theories as well.
Yeah.
Benedict's performance was great as always. I didn't buy Sherlock and Watson getting drunk.
Oh no,
no.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Although there was a series of scenes, those scenes were well done, and I think I enjoyed them being drunk. I enjoyed seeing Sherlock out of his comfort zone. Going to the different bars, but bringing along trying to work out how much alcohol intake would be needed was fantastic. So Sherlock. But
I had to walk away while you were discussing it to do something, but I don't know whether you mentioned that this was actually written by Steve Thompson, who is not Mark Gatiss or Stephen Moffat, so maybe there's something in that.
That's his biggest crime. Neither is he either of those two people.